Welcome to Season 2 of Producer Points. My name is Justin Gamella, and I'll be your host. I'm a producer and songwriter who's had the honor of working with some of the best in the industry. This season, we're diving even deeper into one-on-one conversations with producers, mixers, songwriters, and artists, exploring their unique journeys, creative process, and insights that shape great music. Join me for real talks, straight from the studio, where music and life intersect. This is Producer Points. Welcome to another Producer Points Roundtable. Today we're going to be talking about building home studios on a budget. Building a home studio is one of the most exciting and most stressful things a producer can take on. From day one, you're hit with so many questions. Are you renting? Did you buy the room? How long will you actually be there? Do you want a space that's more about writing or one dialed in for producing and mixing? Should you put money into gear or into creating the right vibe? And that's before you even get into the hard stuff, like making the room sound good or figuring out how to make artists and co-writers feel comfortable when they walk in. On this roundtable, I'm talking with producers who've been through it all, from bedrooms to pro setups, to break down what really matters when you're building a studio on a budget, and how to make the most out of whatever space you've got. Our first guest is a versatile producer behind records for Sabrina Carpenter and Saxe, known for blending fresh creativity with technical precision. I'm very happy to have him back on the pod, Ryan Marrone. Dude, thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me.
Our next guest is a Berkeley-trained producer and songwriter whose credits include Whitcomb and Emeline. He's as innovative in the studio as he is in the kitchen, and his French bulldog has become just as much a part of the session vibe as he is. Please welcome David Schaeman.
What's up, everybody?
And our final guest is an electronic producer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist who fuses indie pop with tech wizardry. I've been a fan of his music and his uber creative live shows and videos for years. He is a first-timer on the pod, and hopefully won't be his last. Robert DeLong.
That's me.
Thanks for being there, man.
Hello.
You did it. You did it. Today we're talking about building a home studio. 2025, everyone has a home studio now. It's because of technology, because of convenience, because labels don't want to pay for shit anymore. Producers have been forced to make these immaculate setups in bedrooms, in garages, in ADUs, whatever. And, the first thing you have to think about, why are we building home studios? And I kind of gave that away. But why do each of you guys prefer to have a home studio or a home-like studio over lockout or something else? Robert, I'll start with you, man. What do you prefer having about a home studio?
Well, I mean, for me, it's like, at least when I'm working on my own stuff, I want to be able to work on it whenever I can, whenever I feel like it. I want to be able to, wake up at 10 a.m. and then waltz in the studio and then come back at 10 p.m. and work until 5 a.m. or whatever, which has always been my thing. And I'm a drummer, too, and I have to have a space that I can be loud. So it's always I've pretty much always lived in a home studio. It's always been some sort of sad, hot garage, but it's less hot these days and a little bit less sad, I think.
Dude, how you doing this week with this heat?
Oh, I've been in the studio less than I should be, actually.
Yeah, it makes sense.
A good excuse to go to the theaters, but yeah.
Right. Get out of there. David, what about you, man?
I like windows, light.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. But I think it's what Robert said as well, just like being able to hop in and work whenever you feel creative. I feel very creative late at night, so having to travel late at night would suck. And I think it's also just people feel more comfortable in your home. Like sometimes the creativity just doesn't flow in big studios like that.
Dude, I totally agree. Anytime like an artist or someone's like, can we like do it at this studio? I was like, I'll do it. But like, I don't know. I only want to go to like a nice studio if like we're going there with purpose, right? Like, oh, we're going there to record a vocal or we're going there to like, record something specific. Otherwise it's like, right, say I like being at home.
Exactly.
Yeah, or we have it for like 5 days straight.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You really
then
can take
like,
advantage
okay,
of it.
we can live in it. We make it ours. Like it starts to feel like us, and it's not just like, oh yeah, we're done when 10. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Like someone else coming in this room, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Ryan, what about you, man? What's the appeal of a home studio?
I mean, I think it's like number one, lifestyle. Like I have kids. Like I couldn't possibly be I would never sleep if I like had to drive 30 minutes to a studio after I put the kids to bed, or like what I was doing before is like I just wouldn't see them, and that's not
Right.
cool either. But no, I think it's like you're inviting someone into like your home, into your space, and like, you know, a lot of like your identity is in that space. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like you're creating this environment. I'm like, I want people to come to my house and take their shoes off and walk around in the grass and, you know, be able to jump around. Like I don't do well in the like spaceship. This is your 20 by 10 space.
Yeah. Dude, I even noticed that on like, you know, days where it's like even too gross to go in my backyard right now because it's just so hot out. Because I really like the days where it's like, oh, okay, I can just go outside of my studio and even just go outside and sit with the guitar for a second. Or like, David, I feel like even like your studio, it's like you have your living room where like you'll go in there and just like write in there. And it's like a change
most
of
of the time I'm writing in the living room, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Option of change of scenery is like one of the biggest parts of it.
Yeah. I think it's like such a huge, you know, unspoken thing about the difference between like an actual, you know, quote unquote studio and a home studio. Is like the studio is like you're just in this room, like maybe you'll go outside and, you know, if someone wants to smoke for a second, but otherwise it's like you're in that you know, studio for however long. And I just like, yeah, same thing, Dave. Like windows is such a thing for me. I can't, I don't know how, like Robert, do you have any windows in yours? Or like, I feel like it's pretty blacked out. By
It's
you.
pretty blacked out, but no, actually, I ended up installing a second door in the garage that's like a big window door that I can like keep open most of the time until we're tracking vocals. I mean, tracking vocals is the worst time because you have to turn off the AC as well, and that's when it gets real sad. But it's a good motivator for like crushing it, you know,
like getting it done quick. You know, I will say I'm in a garage as well. It's like if I don't have my AC unit in here, it'll get to 100 degrees easy. Yeah. But I have the what's it called? Like one of like the quieter ones,
like the mini splits.
Yeah, the mini split, and it's like I record that on with vocals all the time, and I never hear it
unless it's like, something real quiet. Like I can get away with it too.
Yeah, I leave it on. I've only had to turn it off once because it was like a super quiet vocal and a super quiet song, and I was like, I could probably work around this, but let's just play it safe. But for the most part, like it's incredible how quiet they are.
Built-in white noise.
I mean,
exactly. It's tapes, baby.
It's analog, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you know, you can you know, use your engineering background and like angle things the right way so it doesn't pick it up that much. There's a real thing behind that.
Bruce Free.
Yeah, exactly.
Use that plugin.
Big Gates for a reason.
Yes, Bruce Free is great, and then honestly, RX, it's just so good.
It's insane.
It's just like, especially with Pro Tools with like Audio Suite, where it doesn't have to like take up so much like CPU power. It's just like, because Bruce Free is good, but it's not as good as RX, which is like I want it to be. Because Bruce Free is so easy to use. You know, I wanted to ask each of you guys, like, what was kind of your goal when you were setting up your spaces, right? I kind of alluded to it in the intro, where I feel like home producers, you kind of got to go in one of two directions, especially with limited budget, right? We're not talking about you have a 6-figure budget where you can do whatever the fuck you want. Limited budget where it's like, cool, do you want this to be more of like a creative writing space? Or are you trying to make this more of like I want this room to sound amazing. I don't care if I have to like, you know, pin people up against a wall because I have so much soundproofing, you know, in the room here. David, I'll start with you this time. Like what was kind of your approach when you were building out your room?
Definitely, I wanted to feel homey. You know, like obviously I got a big desk with a lot of stuff, but it was really important to me for it to not feel it to feel still feel like a room in my house. You know, so yeah, I think that was really important for me. There's a lot of paneling, but you know, just the door right there goes to the living room, and it makes it easy.
What do you feel like you have in your studio right now that makes it feel homey and like not a studio immediately?
I think it's just like getting carpets and in the couch and just how everything's laid out. Even the desk, you know, I chose like a wood desk, tried to make it more earthy and not as like this stock studio kind of vibe, you know?
Yeah. I know your room. I like that, like, you know, it has like the chair and like the nice couch that like people can kind of like lay out on, and it feels, I like your room too. This is what I was going to talk about for mine. It's like, I like a room that everyone, including the producer, can kind of look at each other when you're like planning a space like that. As it's like kind of weird when it's like, I don't know, you don't set it up in that kind of way. Well, I'll go to you, Robert. What about where were you going with more of like a mixed approach or more of like a writing like friendly approach?
Oh, I mean, 1,000% writing for me. That's like number one, what the studio's used for. And it's like, I wanted a space that was big enough. I mean, mine's kind of a multi-use space because I also use this to like run my own rehearsals, to do my like show prep, visual stuff, to mess around with my laser harp, and also like I have to have somewhere I can play drums. So it's like, yeah, it was like that was kind of the biggest thing. Is like it had to be big enough to accommodate that, and then just make it vibey. Like, because that's the whole thing to me. It's like people come here and it's like, oh, this is fun, this is creative. I don't feel like I'm going to make a mistake or like fuck up. I can just do whatever the fuck I want. Because sometimes when you're in a big studio, it kind of almost feels like you have this pressure and then I don't know, you're not as willing to be as wild or something. So I don't know. That's kind of my whole thing.
Yeah, no, I was going to say too, I also feel like in studios, it just made me think of this. It's like, that's how I set up my room. You can see like I have my keyboards right behind me, is that I try and be very inviting to like all the writers and artists in the room, where it's like, I want you to be able to feel like you can touch things. And that's what I hate about like real studios, is that so much of the time it's like everything is not in the room, or it's like a little bit too far away from like where the writing is happening. And I like that, like, at least in my room and my favorite rooms, it's like, oh, like guitars are right here, synths are right here. A big one for me is like I have like another little like MIDI keyboard that is like by the couches that anyone can just like hop on and start playing and have it be a lot more inviting to be involved in like the production process. Ryan, you kind of cut out there before I was going to you. What are you in your space, like were you trying to go for more of like a mixed production approach or more of like a writing, like creative space?
I mean, my priority is always going to be like kind of just a chill space. Like I think all my favorite studios are comfortable rooms with like instruments placed in ways where you just like want to go and pick them up. So I think similar to like what you just said, it's like, no, I just want it to be like, we're sitting around in a room. Anyone wants to pick up a guitar, go for it. I got a mic kind of near you. You can grab some headphones. Like, I think I go for like fluidity. Like, however we can just like speed the process up or make everything like, I don't know, very tactile and immediate. Like, that's what I'm going for.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think when you're building out your space, we have those things to consider where it's like, okay, I want people to be comfortable. I want people to grab instruments. But then we also, like, maybe we're not trying to make it sound like a mixing room, but we do need it to sound good, right? Like, we have to.
So, yeah,
work,
like, all that being said, it's like, but at the same time, buying good gear so that when you do just throw up a mic, it like sounds good. And, yeah, I need the room to sound good. Because otherwise, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, anyone could feel jumping. I'm going to ask all of you guys, like, how long do you feel like it took you from day one when you were like, okay, I got my room set up, until you were like trial and erroring, if that's the right phrase, like where you put panels, where you put your monitors? How long do you feel like it took you until you got your room and to be in like a place that you were like, okay, this feels the best like it's going to get? Robert, I'll start with you, man.
Sure. I mean, for me, it's like I feel like every 6 months I'm like redesigning it,
Right.
And that's actually like part of that's just like to change up the feel. You kind of feel stagnant or something if it's like always the same. But this spot, it definitely took a couple. I've been at this spot for 8.5 years, so
wow.
it's like it took like 3 or 4 years before it really felt like we were cooking, or like it made sense. Like
Right.
And the biggest thing is like you were saying before, like everything is plugged in. You can play a thing immediately. That's the biggest thing to me,
Yeah.
But yeah, getting it to sound good, like that's a never-ending battle in a garage on some level when you're renting.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get to know your space though. That's the biggest battle on some level.
Yeah. Schaeman, how long do you feel like it took you to get your spot in a good space?
Literally 3 days ago, I just actually rewired the entire room. Like 3 days ago, I tore everything out and like relaid it out. I just one for like inspirational purposes. I just feel like I needed to like redo the juju kind of vibe. But yeah, just making it's now in a state where I can, like you said, like touch anything. Everything's ready to go immediately. So my brain, my gear can move as fast as my brain.
Yeah, it's such an important part. And how long have you been in your space now for?
3 years now. Oh, it's gonna be
Okay.
4. It's been a minute. I don't have a lot of real estate to work with, but
Right.
it's
Yeah, you have like it's like a little bit short like
Yes.
behind you, if I remember correctly. But I love your space, man. I think it's fucking great. Ryan, what about you? I know you're kind of working. You've been in your spot for a little, like, couple months now.
Yeah, I think like
Yeah,
what's it? Probably March, April. Yeah, like
yeah.
5 months or something.
How's it been going?
I mean, I think I'm figuring it out. Like,
Yeah.
I first got in here on it. I paid a guy to like do some panels and some treatment and stuff, and like he did a really good job. Like, and because this room is crazy, it's like very oddly shaped and like nothing but hard surfaces.
Right.
But no, I felt like I settled in with it, and then all of a sudden it was just like, oh, I have like, if I move my head a foot and a half forward or back, like I'm sitting in a totally different spot.
Yep.
So then it just took
Yeah.
me a minute to like figure out the bass, and then I actually ended up getting that like Arc Studio thing.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Dude, it kind of kicks ass. I mean, it
Yeah.
sounds remarkably better than it did before. My mixes are translating remarkably better than they were before. So I'm like, even if it's not perfect, like I was gonna go, do the math and build a bunch of diffusers, and I was like, oh, let me just spend $300,
yeah.
see what happens. And I was like, yeah, that's good enough.
I know my room, it's like kind of oddly shaped. It's like it's a garage. So it's like 10 by 17 or 18. So it's very
Yeah.
long this way. And right where I'm sitting here or here, I have anywhere from a 60 to 80 hertz, just like drop,
Yeah.
gone. If I play a 60 to 80 hertz tone, I can stand in the room and it's gone. It's like, it's a really great way to teach phase. Funny enough.
Yeah. Right.
It's just like being like hearing like a huge loud like you're like, what the fuck happened? But I was gonna say that it's like I'm at the point where I know the solution, and the solution would be to like probably put some bass drops back there or something else. But I've decided that like if I do that, that's gonna make my room feel smaller. And it's
Exactly.
gonna make everyone feel cramped. And I'm just like, you know what? I'd rather just like I know that I have that drop. I just have to kind of be aware of it. I use like
Or yeah,
my
what do you
best-
use for headphone reference, or do you?
I don't. I honestly, I mean, my best reference are my AirPods, which
Okay.
I love. But I use Isotope's Insight as just kind of like a visual thing. And
Okay.
because every other, my mids and highs in the room sound good, but it's that low end. And if I check Insight, and if my, it's saying everything below like 80 is out of control, I'm like, I have fucked up. I need to go back in and probably lower my kick.
Yeah.
And I also do the check where it's like I bounce it, or I use what's it called, like the thing that puts it through the interwebs and you get a link, whatever. And I'll listen on my AirPods quick, and that's really like my best reference, to be quite
Dude,
honest.
so this is another one of those things that's like maybe questionable, but after fires and stuff, Steven Slate sent me the VSX, the like
Yeah.
headphone system. Again, like
yeah.
a remarkable test. If you just want to like throw those on, you're like, it actually feels like you're sitting in a studio. It's pretty wild.
I see. I've gotten like I've never used them. I've heard like such like back and forth takes on it. I'm like very curious. Like I don't know where I stand because I've never
As
used
a
it.
tool to have another reference in your studio, just to be able to like do the car test without
Right.
bouncing something and going out to the car.
Right.
Like, oh, cool. Like here are 8 sonically balanced, but slightly different character representations of what I'm working on.
Yeah. I do think too, like for our listeners here, and I just have to correct myself, that this is why we have Nate, the intern and amazing producer, songwriter, and artist on the call here. I said Insight. I actually meant tonal balance control by Isotope. But I think it's actually makes a lot more sense for like younger producers. They're just like working in their bedroom off of like crappy monitors. It's like you would probably have much better luck like working off your headphones a lot more and just like learning how your headphones feel and working like that. And then once you get like a room that like has proper treatment and better monitors, then you start really making your decisions off there. But I think headphones like earlier in your career is probably the way to go. I know that's hard to do in a session, obviously. But like, I don't know, before you do the bounce, like when everyone leaves, just like go in your headphones and do it proper.
Yeah, especially just like even when you're like picking sounds and stuff like that. Like if your room is doing something weird in the low end, like, you'll find yourself like EQing something that you don't need to EQ. And it's like, oh no, you just needed a good reference.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was going to say, since we're talking about room treatments and stuff, what do you each kind of feel like is like you have a young producer or artist coming up to you to be like, man, what's like the first thing that I need to buy for room treatment? What piece of advice would you give them? Robert, I'll start with you.
I mean, I don't know. I'm probably the wrong person to ask. I've always been pretty haphazard about it. Yeah. I mean, here, I guess something that really changed a lot was getting some clouds for the ceiling. Just because, like, being in the garage, there's so many, like, parallel surfaces in here. Like, kind of anything. Like, that was just the biggest thing, was just, like, breaking up this room a little bit. You know what I mean? Just because it was so, like, it was like standing waves for days in here.
Right.
It was just like one big comb filter in my room. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. That's a big part of it for me. Kind of back to what you said, though. Like, yeah, the biggest thing for me was like all my first record and kind of everything I did up to that point in my life was all in headphones. And that's like, that's the test, man. Because it's like, figure that out. Yeah. And then figure out where to put your sub, because like moving it 1 foot one direction or the other makes a huge difference. And then you're not like killing your neighbors or something. But yeah.
I've never had a sub. It's like, I'm just like,
I don't have a sub.
I'm too scared of it. I know how fun they are, but I'm like, I'm just too scared.
Yeah. I feel
setup.
Yeah.
You're about to what? Sorry, David?
I'm about to remove mine from my setup.
Yeah. Why? I'm just curious. Why? What's the thought process?
Because my room is so small. Like the people sitting on my couch are the only ones that are really getting all the sub frequencies. Like in my listening position, it's going past me. Like, so
Right.
there's no point. And I feel like people on my couch are just getting blasted with low end. I'm not hearing.
Right. Yeah. It's just like I worked in a studio with a sub like once, and I was just like, this is so much fun, but like I'm like too scared. And like, I try and like I don't have too many neighbors here, but I did when I was in Highland Park, and I was like in an apartment, and I was like, that's not going to be kosher. Like, that's not going to work out well. David, since we have you, what do you feel like? What do you tell young producers to get? Like, what's the first piece of like room treatment to get?
Well, so my first room, besides this, I actually still have these panels. I went to Home Depot and was able to build like 12 panels for like $220.
Yep. They're super easy to make.
Super easy to make if you're a little bit handy. And me and my buddy, we just went to Home Depot and got the rock wool and then just had them cut the wood for the frames that fit around it. Went to a fabric store, bought like the cheapest breathable fabric we can find. And there's in my other room, it's a little vocal booth kind of vibe. And I still use those panels to this day. And I was able to get 12 of them, $200.
Yeah.
So,
no, making doable. Panels is super fucking easy. I've made a couple back in the day. I now have the GIK stuff. And those were actually very affordable, not as affordable as building it yourself. They look nice, but what's also nice about like making your own is like you can pick your own fabric and like have it like match your vibe, which is like really, really cool. Ryan, what about you, man? What do you tell young producers to get first?
Ooh, I mean, I don't know. For me, it's like, I don't know if I have like a what would you get first?
Right.
I get a reasonable pair of monitors, and whatever you were gonna spend on expensive monitors, get some treatment.
Yeah.
Like
I think that's good.
I also feel like you can also get away with like getting a room with a bunch of shit in it. Like, hop on Craigslist, grab a couple bookcases, like go get some free books, throw that stuff up, like just get some stuff in the room.
Right.
To where it's not, just walls.
Yeah.
And like, I almost think that you can do a little cheaper than treatment.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah. Just like
Like
get
go
stuff
on
in the
Facebook
room and like fill it
Marketplace,
up. Yeah.
pick up a bunch of free furniture, put it all around your room.
Yeah. Cutting down those reflections. Yeah, dude, I'm the same way. I tell people like what David said, like I'm so big on like just build it yourself. Like I'm a decently handy person. Like I built my desk here. I built a lot of my panels. I built this I half built my little vocal booth here. It's like the internet is a vast and wild resource, and it's so easy. Like you can build, 6, 8, 10 panels in less time than you think. And they just make a huge difference. Like all those egg carton things that I had it when I was first starting out 15 years ago. Like they don't do anything. They're so fucking stupid. I don't know how they get away.
You need some mass.
Yeah. I don't know how they get away with like selling that to this day. It's like, I don't like someone's like, yeah, no, that's what I need to get. Like these like Oralex.
You guys are literally cutting out foam and selling it for hundreds of dollars. It's the best business in the world.
Yeah, I know. And like knowing what I know now, it's like I would have made panels sooner, but I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is supposed to be better, but I had no idea what I was doing.
No, like
So
I just went to Home Depot and got like had them cut me some like plywood to build my own diffusers. And like if
mhm.
you go online, you can ask them to make certain cuts at certain lengths, and then you can go and
Yeah.
pick it up at the store and like,
Yep.
cool, assemble it, finish it. You just saved yourself like $500.
Yeah. A little bit like, a little bit of elbow grease in building
Yeah.
your studio. And also I think it like, I don't know, I walk into my space, especially like my desk, and I'm like super proud of it. It's like
Yeah.
a good feeling to be like, I fucking made that. And I'm gonna make shit on the thing that I made and just be really meta about the whole fucking thing.
That's beautiful for you. I had someone build me a desk.
Listen, I built this desk when I like didn't have a lot of money and I wanted like a big desk. And I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck. It was also during the pandemic, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking do it, and I did it.
That was prime time to build a desk.
That was a good time to build a desk. Really worked out nicely. Moving on to the next thing that you get, and when you're building up a studio, you're a young producer. You got your monitors. You got some room treatment up. You got your first couple checks. Now it's time to start buying some gear. What's the first piece of gear that you tell someone to buy? Ryan, I'll start with you.
I'm going good interface. Like,
Yeah.
and I would say get an Apollo because of the whatever, the unison pre. Like they sound really good relative to like, when I had like an M box and like you needed to buy a preamp because
Right.
that just like I can get away with every once in a while, like, oh, I'm out of pre's, like, and I'm gonna record 3 more tracks. Like, let me throw that 1073 on there. So I'd say good interface.
I think so. I mean, specifically the 1073 preamp that they have, like that's the one where I'm like, I'm literally using it right now for this microphone. So
Yeah,
it
it works really well.
yeah, no, it's great.
With one, and I cannot tell a difference.
I
Oh,
think
is
you
that
can only,
right?
yeah, I think you could only tell when you like if you're trying to push it a little
Yes.
bit. That to me is like when you can be like, okay, this is where the magic comes in on the real 1073. But when
Yeah,
you're
and
just
then
trying
when
to
you
get
like look at the invoice for what you paid for it, you're
Yeah.
like, oh no, it sounds
I was like,
way
oh my
better.
god, what am I
Yeah.
doing? This is crazy.
but that, you know what it is though, because I have a real 1073, it's like I tend to push it more because I'm like, I got the fucking real one,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna do it. And
Yeah.
for vocals and bass and stuff too, it's like, come on, it's really good. Robert, what about you? Like starting to make your first little bit of money, you want to build out your studio. What do you buy first?
I mean, ditto. I was going to say the exact same thing. Buy an Apollo. Yeah. I mean, that's everything. Starting with the interface, you got to convert the thing to ones and zeros, and it's got to be right. And the preamps sound good on that. The next purchase is, well, you got to have a good mic, I guess.
Yeah.
And you got to have.
I
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you're using it. I think that's the one. If we're in the under 1,000 range,
It's the SM7.
Seven
Yeah.
days.
oh, SM7 all day,
Yeah.
all day.
and then
Can't
a
convince
hot
me
tub.
otherwise.
I think hot tub is the first purchase.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I found a free hot tub, actually.
There
in
you
Pasadena.
go.
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. David, what about you, Ben? What's like the first piece of gear you telling people to buy?
It's definitely interface. I will say there's
Yeah.
a lot of really, really good ones now, though. Like
Yeah.
the SSL is making some really good stuff right now that I think
Mhm.
has a little onboard compression stuff and going on. So there's definitely a huge range of.
Did you say
budget.
SSL?
Yeah,
Yeah.
SSL came out of the
Okay,
line.
is that-
Pretty decent.
Yeah.
For someone who's just getting started, like I would do that over a Scarlett like every day.
Yeah.
But I mean, Apollo's industry standard if you're trying to, like, you get the free plugins too, and with the DSP power, I mean, if you're willing to spend the money on something like that, I mean, it's the way to go for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like I mean, like I have the same twin that I bought, 10 years ago now, and
Yeah.
I like when companies. It's like, it's why I have a lot of like love for like Waves, where it's like all their shit just works. It never not works. You know what I mean? And like I can't say that about every plugin. Like all like the smaller
Yeah.
plugin companies, where it's like, yeah, they make a plugin that I really love, but then sometimes they update it and it's like, "Arr, it doesn't work." Never has happened with like UA or Waves, like these bigger companies. There is some sense of like security when you're
Except my
buying.
Apollo that is driving me crazy right now.
What's wrong with it?
Oh, I'm getting like all this weird digital noise on my like on 8 of the outs, and like
Oh.
it'll randomly tell me that a plugin isn't authorized that's authorized. Like, oh, I'm beefing with UA right now.
Yeah. Which are you on like a Thunderbolt 2 or
Yeah,
is
I
it
just got the X16.
okay.
So I think it's Thunderbolt 2. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's that cable.
Yeah.
It could be.
yeah.
Sometimes it's the cable. You don't have the right
Yeah.
cable. You need like the nice ones.
I know.
But yeah, it's
But you
it's
know,
hard to
when you
get
go
ya.
into the store and you're like, $90?
Yeah, it's what it is. And like
Yeah.
it's annoying that like it really does make a difference.
My
Yeah.
buddy who's been on the podcast, Diamond Pistols, just got a brand new
Yeah.
Apollo, and his like console like keeps on not recognizing the Apollo. It's like
Yeah.
I've luckily never had a single issue, but I definitely know people.
I'd
Yeah.
never had an issue. I had like an old quad before, and like that thing was such a beast. I never had a problem with it.
I know
Yeah.
once Apple went to M1 and then M2 and now M3 or whatever, I think that was kind of the beginning of some of those weird issues with the Apollo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've mostly, it seems like they've sorted it out for the most
Totally.
part. Like I've definitely had like some like things happen where, you know, it was like a driver issue or it was like you needed to update the firmware and then like whatever. It's listen, hardware is going to be hardware. But yeah, I was going to say my thing I tell people to get first, besides an interface, just to have the different answer here. But just to do it, I do think mic is super fucking important. But I
Yeah.
think, good, like decent mic and good preamp, and you are 95% of the way there to just like doing
Yeah.
whatever you want in terms of production. Especially
Yeah, like
in,
all the keyboards and stuff. It's like that's because we like it.
Yeah. It's like it's all fun, and it's like it's making it extra that 5% better or whatever you want to call it. But as far as like being able to like do the job of producer and having people come over to your home and do sessions and do the whole thing, it's good mic and good pre and interface, and like that is really all you fucking need, to be quite honest. As I'm sitting looking at all the gear that I have that I spent God knows how much money.
Yeah, don't tell your wife.
I know, yeah. Hopefully she doesn't she really doesn't listen to the podcast, so it's really good that she will not hear that. It's an investment. It holds its
Exactly.
value.
There we
Yeah,
go.
I will say some of my stuff has gone up in value. So not other things that she buys doesn't. What I buy does. The next one I want to talk about in terms of like building up a studio is, we were like kind of talking about it before, but balance. I wrote here balancing vibes with function. But I like that, where it really is like, okay, I want things to work, but I also want it to like feel nice and cool in here. What's something special about your studio that you feel like your co-writers and artists that come by like really appreciate that another producer could maybe like steal that idea from? Robert, I'll start with you, man.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I think it's just like I got a lot of weird stuff going on in here. It's like it's a vibe zone, dude. You can see it's just like got this weird like Mylar hanging up. We got on my whole roast zone. We got all sorts of like weird pillows and curtains and shit. It's just like, I don't know. And people love it because it's just like, again, they just feel like you can be weird,
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. It's got to be a reflection of your personality, and also what you want to do with it. But yeah, I mean, that's it, dude. I think, got to have a lot of trinkets around.
Right, little
Honestly,
toys.
this is a big thing. Have things for people to fiddle around with. People love
Dude,
that.
yes.
It like helps them write. Yeah.
Dude, I had like I keep meaning to bring it back in here. I just keep forgetting. I used to have like adult coloring books and
Amazing.
Lego and like
Yeah.
little like spinner toys. It helps. I especially like the adult coloring books. I think people, especially where it's like, hey guys, I need like 10, 15 minutes to like get the track ready before we like cut a vocal. Just like having them like color and like do a thing, and like, I don't know, I'm a big believer in like, like the bathroom idea or the shower idea where you're not actively thinking about the song,
Yeah.
but you're doing something else. I think it's a big thing like that. Schaeman, what about you, man? What's something in your studio that you feel like makes it feel really like homey and creative?
Well, I have Legos as well, and
There you
that really helps. But honestly, my cheat code is my dog, and so you just got to get a dog. Is my
Yeah. A cute dog.
yeah, a cute dog that sits on your lap while you try to write songs.
It's a great icebreaker.
Yeah, great icebreaker.
Yeah.
If you're feeling sad, a little emotional support going on. But I think just
Yeah.
keeping the space super clean is really important. Like
Dude.
keeping the
Yo,
bathroom clean.
clean
People say
bathroom.
clean your bathrooms. Like can't even tell you.
I can't tell you how many times like co-writers like I went to this producer's house and there was like shit on like the
Yeah,
the toilet
like,
still, and it's like, guys, what are you,
I've heard
Yeah.
are insane.
this is like, and you know what it is, like if you don't want to do it, and like I get everyone's on a budget, but like you either have to clean it or like you have to hire someone to clean your place. It's just, this is like
Yeah.
a business, and like it is a reflection. If like your space isn't clean, like people are just like, they're not going to think like you're doing a good job of shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I know that's what I would think if I would walk into someone's studio and it was like not well put together. I'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, are you okay? Like, is are you depressed or something? Because I'll help you. But it's like,
I mean, my studio is definitely a reflection of me in the sense that I am not the OCD producer.
yeah, I get
So,
it. But like, there's a difference between like not
there's-
being OCD and
There's
like
stuff
still being clean.
around, and it's like, but it's like it should be creative stuff.
Listen, I'm like a decently, ADHD, like pretty messy person, but I think there's a difference between like messy and like dirty.
Yeah.
Oh,
Those
of
are-
course.
Those are very different things.
Run a vacuum over your fucking floor.
Run it back. You know what's a good one that I don't know if you guys know Dennis Koshak, who's a mixer and producer. He had like a great tip, which I think is actually true because I have one. Air purifier.
Oh yeah, I have
Amazing
one.
thing to have in the studio. It helps cut down on like all the dust that we get here. Like I don't have to like dust in here ever. The air purifier is just like always running, and it like does a great job, and like it's actually good for your gear. That's a little life hack. A nice little air purifier.
Okay,
Keep
so
the air
I have a really simple one. I think
What's that?
have unlimited sets of headphones sitting around.
Yeah.
And
1000%.
headphone boxes in different parts of the room. And good snacks. But like,
Yep.
really, the number of times that I've had an artist and 2 writers in the room, and like the second writer gets a set of headphones, they're like, "Wait, wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is so nice." It's like, yeah, that's the simplest thing in the world. But sitting in the studio while someone cuts vocals and not having headphones, you feel like a
It's-
dummy.
Dude, it's the fucking worst. Like I made a lot of decisions for my studio based on when I first came out to LA. I was really like half my sessions I was top lining and half my sessions I was producing, and I took note of all the bad things from sessions that I didn't like. And not having headphones was one of them. Snacks was another one. Drinks is another one, where it's like,
Yeah.
as producers, I had the luxury of not having to drive fucking anywhere. I just have to fucking sit
Right.
here and people come to me. And I do think it's on us to be hospitable and be like, hey, you want a fucking coffee? You want a drink? You want a
Yeah.
spindrift? You want some fruit from my fridge? I don't care. I will give it to you. I have
Exactly.
I have a bunch of snacks up there. And I think having like good snacks that are like, hangriness is the number one session killer. And
Yeah.
like peanut butter pretzels, best snack you can get unless someone's allergic to it. But you know what I mean? Just like having snacks that are like actually filling and not like don't have candy. I mean, I love candy too, but like having candy in your studio is is not good, to be quite honest. It's like,
Oh, whatever.
just
No way.
crap.
I have candy in my studio. And I disagree.
I love candy. I feel like people
Vehemently.
crash.
I'm so bad about the snacks. Like I'll
Yeah.
just eat all, man. Like I'm so bad about
Yeah, you
So
can't
you know
eat your
what it
own
is?
snacks. You gotta look
No.
out
Yeah.
for that.
It's
Because
so
mine are actually in the studio and not in my house. I have like that separate.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
it's kind of
have-
nice. Yeah. I get it, man. That's why I do try and get like healthier snacks. Like that's my whole thing where it's like, okay, like that's why I'm not buying candy because I will eat all the fucking candy. But it's like,
Yeah.
cool. I have like trail mix and I have like healthy bar or like seaweed snacks.
Sorry, we live in Los Angeles.
Yes, it's very Costco is my best friend. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
all my nice little drinks and stuff. And you know what too? Just like last thing that I love about my studio that they're not really doing right now, but like I love having my hue lights. I think there's something like really special about like when I'm writing, I try not to keep it vibey. I try to keep it like natural light and like whatever. And every single time, because I don't tell people I have hue lights. Every single time we start cutting and I change it, everyone's like, "Oh, okay." Like we're like getting in the vibe, and it's like I do feel like I get better takes like the second I turn off, or rather turn on like colored lights and make it like a little bit more vibey in here. It makes them feel like a little bit more private in a way because it's darker. And like you don't have like people in like a bright, I don't know, I feel like it's like a very unnatural thing to like sing in like a big bright room with like people just like staring at you for whatever reason.
See, I'm like a big like soft yellow light type
Yeah,
of
that's
guy.
what I'm like doing
You
most
mean
of the
like
time.
those vintage bulbs? Really into that.
Yeah,
That and
I would.
natural sunlight.
I just want like a big light. I mean, I used to open my studio doors all the time, but now it's like the mosquitoes are so bad, I just like can't.
Yeah.
I was
But
gonna
that was so, dude, I loved it. It was like one of my favorite things to do, but it was just like the mosquitoes are just so bad. The last like year, I just can't do it, and there's like really no workaround. I did at a time have like a bug net behind me, but like it looks just so ugly if it's
Yeah,
just like
that's a
big.
good look.
Yeah, so it was just like, this is like whatever. It like wasn't, it was like a cost benefit thing. It like wasn't worth to like keep up all the time for like the the random days I did it. Hey gang, I just wanted to pop in here to let you know that the best way you can help this podcast grow is to rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts. It tells the algorithm to push our show to other listeners so we can grow, and it's one of, if not the best way to help support this podcast. So if you wouldn't mind, take a second to rate this podcast. Sharing it with your friends would be amazing too. All right, back to the pod. When you're building a studio, we want to make sure it has good workflow. Robert, you were kind of talking about this earlier where it's like everything's turned on, everything is just like ready to go and easy. What is your how do you go about making sure everything is good to go and on all the time? Are you using a patch bay? Is it just all hooked up into the Apollo? How do you achieve that?
You asking me?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I have enough inputs, so everything's just got its own input. We're going in, and then I have like sends I can go out to like pedals and come back in, and I do have a patch bay for my synths to be able to patch into like different pedals and stuff like that. But for me, the biggest thing is like having all my drums set up with the mics ready to go, because I record a lot of drums for my own stuff for when people come over. People love that. And just having that all just dialed and ready to go is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can like even just go sit down at the drum kit and, play shakers into the overheads or whatever, like that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah. And one thing I do is I always have room mics set up that are just going when I record almost anything. And, I use them 5% of the time, but they're there, you got them, which is tight.
What are you using? Because I actually I want to start doing that. I've been using I'm putting my 47 behind me. I've just been like, when I'm not using it as the main mic, I've just been like kind of putting it in the room on Omni and like recording all the time. And I'm like, this is fucking amazing. But like, what are your your main room mics that you have going on? I'm curious.
It's either my CM67, like the Wunder, like U67 thing, or I have this like pair of roaming 414s that are on like little T-bars that I can move around and turn them on and off, and that's it really. I mean, or sometimes I'll literally just turn on like the overheads like on my kit just to get something. I'm always surprised at how useful that can be. Percent of the time, we're making like some sort of pop hybrid electronic thing. So you're trying to get a weird sound more than you're trying to get like, $1 million studio sound. So that can sometimes just be the vibe.
Yeah, dude, I recorded my favorite piano sound I've ever done kind of by accident the other week, where I have my piano behind me. I have, I forget what these guys are called, like the AKGs, whatever. I had those guys on it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to like just push my flea back into the corner, put it on an Omni, and then just like have it smash my 76 and like just see what happens. And it was like, oh, I should have been recording my piano like this the entire fucking time. Because like the second I'd like turned that off, it was like all the mid-range was gone. And then I turned it back on and it was like, oh, like now it's a really cool sounding piano. And so now like ever since I've been doing that, I've been trying to like think of ways where it's like, how do I just have like room mics around the studio that I can just like click on and like have it ready to go. I love that. Like, I don't know if you guys know, I think like Jack Antonoff at his studio, he has like 2 overhead just like right above him. So when he wants to do like claps and stuff,
Amazing.
They're just like ready to go. I want to do that too. I just have no idea. Dave, what about you? What are you doing to make your workflow like really quick? You don't have a patch bay, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
and
you just
in rewiring my room, I almost did it. But it was just like I pretty much only used my hardware stuff for on the way in. And so I just made some inserts for like some of the gear that I'll put on my mix bus. But yeah, I have Apollo 16 and a little X4 Apollo that daisy chains to it. So I got plenty of inputs, and anything you touch is ready to go. And I can use external audio effects plugin in Ableton to insert my two pieces in the middle wherever I need them to be.
That's like, so it's like, I know this answer, but for our listeners, it's like you basically like have like your vocal chain, and it's like that's just going in, your guitar chain that's going in.
Exactly. Guitar, bass, piano mics. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, I love that. Ryan, what about you? What do you like? What's the system there?
I mean, yeah, my patch bay is going for sure, but I kind of have everything. Like I use that, the Franklin Audio SS6.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. That's what I have for my synth. It's awesome.
Yeah, I like that thing for the synths, and then it also has like the parallel out, so I'll like run that to my pedals, so then I can have wet and dry going in. I mean, similar also, like I have the Coles over here above the kit, so I can throw those on whenever, like throw the piano mics on, and just turn them around and like grab a room mic that way. Yeah, I don't know. I just like, I think the pedal thing is the one that I'm still like doing the math problem there of like, how do I have it accessible at every single turn? And I think the answer is probably one of those like desktop patch bays.
Yeah.
That's
what.
Yeah,
Robert,
I don't know.
Robert, what do you use for your pedals? I feel like you must have some kind of system set up.
Yeah, I mean, really, I just I have them set up into my patch bay, and then I have all of my synths running into the patch bay, as well as then parallel outputs to my interface. But then I can just quickly patch in whenever I want, which is nice, which is great. It's funny, I like almost never record guitars through my pedals on the way in. It's like only since and but I'm always, like I said, I'm like always changing everything. That's kind of my it's just fun to like keep it fresh and to like give yourself problems. A good reason to listen to podcasts is to plug things in.
Yeah, exactly. So here's a nerd question for you, because it's something I'm always exploring. And Dave, I know you have your like pedals hooked up and ready to go too. But like, are you using any like kind of like DI box or like whatever to get your pedals at line level, or like you're just kind of saying fuck it and just going raw?
Dude, we're raw dogging my pedals over here. Yeah,
I'm raw dogging over here too.
It's everyone's like, you got to get this thing. I'm just like, do you actually though? Like,
I'm like, I don't usually need it to sound incredible. Like I'm usually trying to do something where I'm like
trying to fuck it
make
up,
it
right?
sound like something else. So like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing where like I always go back and forth with like, do I need to get like that, those like 500 series things that like makes it so you can put your pedals in it like properly, quote unquote. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like going in and seeing what happens, and it seems fine. Like it never sounds bad. That was my nerd question for you. I feel like we're on the same page here. We all have nice gear, but we also feel like we don't need it. Why do you guys feel like that of gear isn't like the end all be all? What makes you feel like that? Like, hey, if I had to, I could just like go with my laptop and my Apollo and like do the fucking thing. Ryan, I'll start with you, man.
I mean, probably because I've done it without it. So then it's like, yeah, I know it's possible, but like, I just like it. Like, I don't know. I also think part of it for me is like, I've always been a like limitations believer. And I'm like, okay, so the hardware I have is like the hardware that I'm going to use. So then therefore that's going to contribute to the sound that is like mine, and it's stuff that I like. But I think you can do it because you can have the same taste without it, and it works just fine.
I do think that's really smart though. Is what you said. It's like I'm buying gear that fits my taste, and therefore that's a part of my production process.
Yeah.
Which is like really true. It's like I have like, I was saying, like I have my 76D by Audioscape here. Like shout out to Audioscape. I fucking love everything they make. But like that piece of gear specifically is like so much of like my vocal sound, where it's like, could I do it with a plugin? Maybe, but there is just something about like whenever I record, run a vocal through it that I didn't record here, and I put it through that, I'm like, oh no, now I like that vocal a million times better. And yeah, I never really thought about it like that, but actually it's really true. Dave, what about you? What do you like feel like, why do you like your gear? Why do you feel like you could do it with like just the DAW and interface?
I think the gear for me is more of like saving me time. It's like I totally could do without, and I'd probably get maybe even a better result, to be honest, because of something. But I think it's like my turnaround time is just so much faster with all the stuff that comes in, at least to me, feels like I barely have to touch it. And so when it's go time, it makes my life a lot easier. But I could do the exact same thing I'm doing in this room with my laptop and
Right.
still
Just a
get
couple extra steps.
Yeah, it's just gonna take a few more hours, but that's fine.
Is it though?
Yeah,
That's less time to eat food, you know?
it's less time to eat food. It's all my dog.
Robert, man, what about you?
Oh yeah, I mean, Gear's fun. But I mean, my first like single that got me signed was recorded in a closet with a AKG C3000B, a timbali, and which is a $139 microphone or something,
Yeah.
and like a Tascam USB 1 interface, like from like
For
2002.
our listeners, in case they don't know that record, what record is it?
Oh, a Global Concepts, yeah, which is crazy, and that like, got Radio Play, got me signed, and
Yep.
like gave me a career, and like, so in the end, it's like all about ideas. But let me tell you, I had to do some serious EQing and digging on that vocal to make it happen. Like now, I can go into my 1073, with my tube mic, and it's like, all right, we roll off the low end, make sure that my S's aren't fucked up. It's kind of good.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
that's a
actually
lot
really,
easier.
I'm actually really glad you said that about like the cheap microphone, where there's so many people that it's mostly people that are like just starting out that they don't really know their shit yet, and that's fine. That's why they hopefully listen to this podcast. But they'll bring up like the Phineas and Billy thing, where it's like they did Ocean Eyes on an $80 microphone. Sure, one, that's Billie Eilish's vocal. Two, there's a lot going on there. Like there was a lot of notches to like get it to sound
then they stopped doing vocals on an $80 microphone.
Exactly. Right. They were like, this is the one. Like, so yeah, it's like that's, and like to Robert's point, it's like it's like creativity first. Like song wins at the end of the day, but it's like there's a reason why it's like they didn't stay on that $80 microphone, and it's why Robert probably has a nicer microphone now than he did after his first single. So for me too, it's like, yes, could I do this on just, my interface? I've done it. I have to do it when I go to studios where it's like, I don't feel like using, I use their like vocal chain and sure, whatever, but like everything else, I'm hamstrung. I'm just like, I just want to work fast. I don't want to have to like call the engineer over to figure this out. But exactly like we're all saying, it's like, to me, it's a shortcut. It's a way where it's like, cool, I can record something and I'm all about getting the best sounds going in. So when it's in there, I'm just like, oh, okay, I light EQ, maybe a little bit more compression if it needs it than I did. I didn't do it earlier enough. Like that's saving me time. That's allowing me to actually be more creative and like not like slave over. Like there's nothing worse than like slaving over a sound that you're like, this is the right sound, but it was recorded really horribly. Or it's like, man, like I had to find all these fucking notches to like get it to sound good or like soothe it to death. Like that's not fun to me. It's honestly the worst part about our job is like trying to fix something. As opposed to just
I
getting...
think all that became clear for me. Like the first couple of times that I got to go to studios where like things just sounded good.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh wait, I can just sit here and like make decisions with my ears and based off what feels good and like we're good.
Yep.
Yeah,
That was for me too. I came out to LA and I was like, got to go into a nice studio and record on like a proper chain, not just what was I using at the time? I think it was just like my SM7 into my Focusrite, like.
Yeah, no, I remember like the first time I recorded on like a vintage 251.
Yeah.
And like you go in EQ and you're like, I'm gonna boost here, and you're like, that sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Totally.
Wow.
Right. Like what a difference. I can boost
that's
something
why
and
when
not just...
you watch like engineer fucking podcasts and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
boost 3K for vocals. Yeah, you're like, not on my shitty mic.
Yeah.
On my shitty mic, it's like, no, I need to have a little notch at 800 that's like dynamic and I need to do this and this. So like,
Yeah.
I remember seeing some of that information and being like, oh, that doesn't apply to me because like, no, I can't make like broad strokes when I haven't even figured out like the minutia of it.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing too that like people have to realize when they watch like videos of like Mix with the Masters or other things on YouTube where it's like they're mixing like professionally done songs of like the top producers in the world. And then it's like, yeah, I just did this and it sounded great. And it's like, well, when I do that, it doesn't sound great. It's like, yeah, well, because the gear does matter.
Dude,
at the end of the day.
I remember seeing someone with like Manny back in the day and he was like mixing a Rihanna vocal and it was like, oh yeah, it comes in and I like, just hit it with an 1176 with like 2 dB of compression. It's like, yeah, because it was recorded perfectly.
Yeah, it's Rihanna.
Like you
And
maybe
Rihanna's-
didn't even
Right,
need
right. That's the thing too, where it's like there are, as we all know, there are just some voices that just record insanely well, where you're just like, okay, I guess I just did a vocal. Oh man, I want to give her a shout out. Emerson Flora. I don't know if you guys have worked
Oh,
with her
dude,
yet.
her voice
just
is
worked with her.
nuts.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my God. Like she's like 19, 20 years old. I guess she was on Idol, and like we wrote a song yesterday. And long story short, like I had to pick up my kid early because like the daycare was like, you got to get her. So I was like, fuck. And we had to we did it in one take. And I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. And like,
Yeah.
I didn't even have to like eat. It was like the first
No.
time I've ever I literally there's like almost nothing on the vocal. And I was just like,
Well, because she's got so much like body in her voice too that like
Yeah.
you don't want to touch that low end too much.
yeah, it's crazy. And like, it just like reminded me again where it's like, yeah, there's some people that they just sound good. They're, that the $10,000 guitar that just, no matter
Yeah.
what you do to it, it's going to sound good.
Yeah.
And my voice is not one of those voices. That's what I learned.
No.
So, all right, last little thing I want to talk about before we go to our listener questions is I think something that we don't think enough about because we're all idiots and we're short-sighted, impulsive people, at least I am,
Speak for
is,
yourself.
right? I just feel like producers have a type and then we all have ADHD.
Yeah, no.
But it's thinking of like future-proofing your studio, understanding that I am going to upgrade this, or I am going to, get a nicer this or that, moving forward, understanding that like, okay, I don't have room treatment now, but I will in a couple months. What do you guys feel like when you were building up your studios, you understood that like, okay, I don't have the best monitors now, but I'm going to wait on that. What did you guys feel like let me rephrase that. What do you feel like you waited to buy because you knew you would get there eventually? Ryan, I'll start with you. Why not?
I think really good microphone maybe was the one. I mean, I think my general response to that is like, there are certain things that you can get away with buying the cheap versions of them. And there are certain things that you should just wait on. Like,
What's like something you feel you can get a cheap version?
I don't think you need to buy Mogami cables when you're first setting up your studio.
Yeah.
But like, I do think if you're going to buy a mic, spend some money, like buy a mic, there are just
Right.
certain pieces of gear where it's like, I hate to say it, but like usually like the $500 version is not it. Like you need to get up to $1,000 to where, and maybe that's not true for like certain 500 series gear, but
Yeah.
like you got to be willing to invest in that because the other stuff becomes like worthless. A lot of that like mid-grade, like, I wanted to get nice monitors, but I bought like $300 monitors rather than like Rocket 5s. It's like,
Yeah.
stick with the Rocket 5s and wait
I'm
till
on
you
that
can
same
really
kick,
do
yeah.
a thing. Because that middle ground, it kind of sucks, I think.
Yeah. That's how I feel about microphones for the most part. That's
Yeah.
why, like, we were all kind of like talking about it earlier, where someone's like, yeah, I bought this like $400 like condenser microphone. I'm just like, just buy some 7. Like,
Right.
it's better for the most part. Like, unless you
I
just
think
hop
that
it.
the like TLM 103, like that
Yeah.
series is like the
Mhm.
cheapest you can go for like
Mhm.
reasonable large diaphragm condenser.
I agree. I mean, that was my main mic for years.
Yeah, for years.
Yeah, it's a great mic. Robert, what about you, man? Like, what do you feel like you were like, oh, I can wait on this because I'm going to eventually move up, but this is like good enough for now?
I mean, yeah, for me it was getting my my tube mic. I mean, that was everything. And I did the whole thing. Waited until I could afford the one that matched my voice at Vintage King. Did the shootout. That was huge. Yeah, I mean,
What'd you end up getting? I'm curious.
I got the Wunder CM67.
Oh, that's the one you got. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it's funny actually. We did the shootout with the U67 for whatever reason on my vocal. That was the one, but it doesn't sound good on everybody. That's true. Which is
I
interesting.
feel like that's true about 67s in general, where it's like it's
Yeah.
either like it makes your vocal shine, or it's like, no, this is not for ever.
But yeah, I mean, what you were saying though about like mid-grade stuff is so true. Yeah, and I have like all of this Behringer trash that's just like slowly quickly decreasing in value every day.
Yeah, I think that's the problem about mid-grade stuff too, is that it doesn't hold its value,
Right.
Yeah.
like at all.
No, like you go on Reverb, you buy something used that's like you know, Neve or whatever, like it's gonna hang around the same value.
1,000%.
So you're really just parking
Yeah.
money.
That's how I feel about it, and that's what I tell myself.
Yeah,
David, what
yeah,
about you, man?
exactly.
I mean,
What do you?
I would probably say my mic as well. I
Yeah.
finally just bought my big boy mic like a few days ago.
What'd you
Uh,
get?
I got the Soyuz 2 mic.
Oh,
Oh,
nice,
that thing's
nice.
sick.
It's so sick. It's kind of like a mix between a 67 and a 47. So it's a little brighter than a 67 because they can get dark. But I'll change my answer a little bit. I think like if you're going into like the future proof part of this question, I think like if you're trying to get into your first little gear stint of hardware, like the 500 series stuff is such like
Mm,
you can get a six uh thing chassis or whatever. Midas sells one for like $200. You can get an SSL channel strip that has EQ and compression and preamp,
hmm
and you have slots to expand. As your career gets. I
Yeah,
still have a chassis that I got when my first gear.
I think 500 series is such a great answer because like one, like it literally does give you room to grow because it's like it has more slots in there. But I think it's also where it's like you don't have money to spend on a big desk yet to like put the big fucking rack pieces of gear. I also love like when I do a writing camp, like I'll bring my 500 series.
Holy,
It's really super nice to just like pick it up and be like, all right, I guess this is my gear for the week. Um, and there's always sick, fun pieces of 500 gear that you'll use down the road. Where it's like all my 500 pieces of gear, it's like it's the ones that I kind of like switch out the most. Where it's like,
holy.
oh, I use this for a little while, and like, oh, I'll get rid of it, and like move on from this and get something new. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's a great answer. That's what I tell everyone. It's like get a 500 series, get a nice preamp on there, and a nice mic, and like you're there. That's it. That's all you
Also,
need.
good mic stand.
Good mic.
Totally.
Yep.
Like that's a little overlooked, but like you will throw out 5 of those things,
Yep.
you know, just
It
buy a
feels
nice
bad to spend it like one, two, $300 on a
$400.
nice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I just got the nice one behind me. Like finally, it took me a long time to like really get the nice one. I'm like, I should have done this a long time ago.
Dude, yeah, I just got the one
It's
for my for the Coles, and like
yeah.
those things are heavy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It makes a big difference. It really does. It's just ease of job. Okay, I'm gonna go on to our listener questions here. We have this was a question I like. We kind of hinted on this already. Danny the Lyra, I think that's their name here, asks, is it better to have a lot of cheaper outboard clones, warm audio, etc., or a few expensive?
I'm a big quality over quantity guy.
Yeah.
Just think like there are some incredible clones. Like Audioscape is incredible. They're
Mhm.
unfortunately having to raise their prices. I just found out, which is
Yeah, I
unfortunate.
know.
But yeah, I think quality over quantity every time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
this-
it's the like if it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
That's fair. That's fair. I think like specifically what they brought up, like warm audio. The warm audio stuff when they first came out, like however, like 10, 15 years ago, however long it's been, when they first came out, they were really, really good because it was like small batches and they were like really putting it. And then the second they started making everything in China, it's like, it sounds like it's cheap and it's made in China now. And I think all the warm audio stuff is like, in my opinion, I don't want to say all, but most of it is not good. It's not worth, it's like, it's not marginally better than like the plug-in versions of it versus like, I mean, like we can say Audioscape all day. I think Audioscape makes really great stuff. Like I hate that they're raising their prices, but it also means that it's like they don't want to bring down the quality. And it's like I'd rather see that. I'd rather see that they're like, we don't want to bring our quality down. We want to keep our quality high and raise prices. Like that to me is acceptable. But yeah, same thing. It's like I don't think it makes sense to like just have a bunch of like gear just to like make it look nice when it doesn't all really sound good. The warm audio stuff doesn't really hold its value that much, as opposed to like the probably the most popular piece of gear, if you guys would agree with me, like a Bay 1073. It's like everyone always wants one. You will always be able to sell it for the most part. Great piece of gear.
I would choose an Apollo pre over a warm audio pre.
Yeah, same. Easily done. All right.
Yeah, I just think it's also like if you're gonna buy gear, buy it intentionally.
Yeah.
Like really know what it does. Like there are so many plugins that like if you're just trying to catch the vibe of that thing, like do it. But if you know that like this thing does a thing that you really like, then make the investment, like get it.
Yeah.
But
I think
otherwise,
too,
yeah, I think you're just paying for tangible plugins. I mean, I truly haven't used the warm audio stuff, but like I think you're kind of just paying for a physical representation of a plugin.
I think that's what you're getting with that stuff. I think too, it's like, my biggest resource for finding out if a piece of gear is good is not YouTube, because I think like YouTube, you can't really tell that much. It's
Is it
asking,
Doug Shat?
it's Doug. No, it is Doug. I was going to say it's asking friends. It's asking people who like I know have used the piece of gear, or it's even sometimes where it's like, you'd be surprised. Like I'll follow a producer or a mixer on whatever, and they'll like show that they're using the piece of gear, and I'll message them and be like, yo, what do you think? And like
Yeah.
we're all nerds, like we love talking about gear. It's like they'll tell you what they think. And I think if it's like someone who you're a fan of, who or you're friends with, you have similar taste, and they're like, this thing is fucking sick, like you should get it. Or it's like, I mean, even like Ryan, like you like asked me about a piece of gear the other day, and I'm like, yeah, I like them, I could live without them, kind of a thing.
Yeah, like, oh, it's cool, but like, if it disappeared tomorrow, am I like, do I have no way of accomplishing the same thing? Like, probably not.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, exactly. Ask a friend, ask a fellow producer. I think that's the way to go. Our next question, I like this question. We kind of talked about it in a way, but I like how this person asked it. The Velvet Ear from Instagram asked, what's favorite interior design touches that you've done to make your room more session friendly? If anyone wants to take this.
Blue curtains and lights. Oh, go ahead.
Blue curtains.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the thing I'm least good at. I'll say I took a picture of my studio with ChatGPT and was like, how can I make this look nicer? And it kicked me out a picture, and I was like, yeah, that looks nicer. I'm gonna go do some of that stuff.
That's sick. My studio is actually right behind me. It's like my fake foliage wall. That was like a big thing. I think having like I've seen people do like the lawn walls before too. Like having some kind of like an accent wall, I feel like is pretty nice to have. Or like a nice fun carpet.
That's what I was gonna say. A cool carpet goes.
Yeah. Nice fun little carpet, or like I think also that's what's nice, fun little pillows.
Yeah, man. It's just like stuff like when you go to someone's house and you're like, oh, it's a really nice house. Like think of the things that make it that and add those things to your studio.
Yeah. Also, and like I forget who said it. Was it you, Ryan? Like get things that like also feel like you. Right? I think it's important. Like I have like these stupid, like I love the Buffalo Bills, but like my Buffalo Bills like, toys in the room. And it's like, I know it's a little bit nerdy or whatever, but like it's a great like conversation starter where like someone comes in, they're a football fan, and it's like that, like that's our first connection. I have like a little Dragon Ball Z thing somewhere here. Like I want to show people who I am, and hopefully we have that in common, and it's a good conversation starter. So things like that too, I think are like, not thought enough about.
Totally. I mean, I think you like take for granted a little bit that like people are coming from wherever in the city to come and like be in your space. Like,
yeah,
that's a big deal. Like I don't do it as much lately, but like you think about anytime you walk into a space, like you're very observant of it. And like, I don't know, I'm very impacted by the space that I'm in. So like whenever someone's here and they're like, man, this is just really chill, it's really nice, I'm like, perfect. Yeah. That's what I was going for.
Yeah. There's nothing like better to me than, because from the outside, like you don't know what you're getting from my studio because it's a garage. It's behind these like two big doors. You don't know. And then like I open the door. Everyone's like, oh, this is sick. Like they don't know what they're expecting because it's a fucking garage. It could be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice feeling. I'm not going to lie. I worked really hard on it.
It's a nice garage. I'd park in your garage.
All right, guys. This last little segment here is where you guys get to do a little producer show and tell. I call it In the Bounce folder. This is where you guys can tell me something you're working on, new piece of gear you got, just anything you want to like mention at the end of the podcast here. Robert, it's been a minute since you've talked. What's going on in your world?
I just released a deluxe version of my record with 8 more tracks. Robert DeLong, Playlist of Doom, After Dark is what it's called. It's God, I don't even know how many tracks that is now. 19, 20, something. Wow. So yeah. It's great. It's amazing. Listen to it, and
Out now,
baby.
David. And what about you?
I will show off a little piece of gear. I just got the Orchid.
Oh, you got
Oh,
it.
Heck.
Got the
is it
Orchid,
fun?
and it's so much fun, man. It's such a good little. The thing I think it's the most fun for, because you press the note and you just press like major chord or whatever. It's so fun for people, artists, writers who don't play an instrument, to be able to just like press, oh, I'm playing a major, and it's just like I can record it and they feel like they're part of it. So for that investment, I thought it was a really cool like toy to play around with.
I had like 4 calendar reminders set for myself to like
To like try and
sign
get it.
up for that
Yeah.
thing, and of course I missed
Sounds in it are insane. Like they did such a good job.
it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Ryan, what about you, man?
I got a song coming out tonight. We'll plug that.
There you
Paige
go.
Fish. It's called Family Reunion.
All right.
She can sing her face off. Go here. I swear I love this song. You know,
All right.
every once in a while you have a song come out where you're like, oh, I like this song. And then you have ones come out where you're like, oh, I
This
fucking
one.
like, I remember the day we made it thinking like, yeah, this is really good.
Yeah.
So
Those
one
ones,
of those.
and I love those. And then it hurts even more that they never come out and they just sit on your hard drive. God. All my many heartbreaks. You know what? I've been doing a lot of family stuff the last 2-3 weeks. Been a whirlwind. I've been like so exhausted. But I want to shout out my own kid. She started school yesterday.
There you go.
And
What grade?
You know, super proud of her. She's like
Is that TK?
just TK. She started TK.
What is TK? I'm sorry, I'm
It's pre-K, but now they call it TK now.
Oh, really? They changed the name. That's
What's the
crazy.
T?
I don't
I
know.
know, right?
Transitional, is that what it is? Transitional kindergarten.
Yeah.
Are we still allowed to say trans? Is that allowed? in
Silly.
this America? But anyway, yeah, and like and then my wife started a new job this week, and my daughter's in other. So it's been a lot of like big family life changes that we've had, and we're rolling into it. So gonna shout
That's
them out
awesome.
this week.
Oh, wait, I'll also shout out. I think I told you I got those garbage ideas 500 series.
Oh, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah. And dude, those things are awesome.
Yeah. For listeners, it's Garbage Ideas. It's the FK comp they're very good.
Yeah. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, I got them. I can shout them out too. Like they're like, I don't know. They just like they fuck shit up. It's a compression and a drive thing. It's a 500 series. They're small company.
Dude, yeah, like
those
any
are-
like live drum loop, you want it to sound a little more like a record, you throw it through those and you're like, oh yeah, that's cool now.
It's essentially like a better Devil Lock, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna ask, is it like a decapitator, devil lock kind of vibe?
Yeah, it's kind of
More
like
like
that.
Devil's
It's like,
Lock and what it does with like the transients.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does a cool thing. It's like I've been putting it on like mixing it in on like bass guitar a lot lately. It's been super fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, like
Yo,
same thing,
even
like
a
you just-
vocal, like the guy explained to
Yep.
me how it's wired, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's like it's like a multi-band compressor. Like it cuts highs and cuts lows. So if you get
Yeah.
a vocal through it that's just like a little too bright, all of a sudden it just like really rounds out the top end in a nice way."
And it has a thing that everything should have. It has a fucking mix knob on it. And that's so
Yeah,
good. I want
exactly.
everything to have a mix knob. That's all I want on all my pieces of gear, to have a mix knob. That's my rant.
Dude, I have that like the Serpent Audio 1176 clone that's got a mix
Yeah.
knob on it. Mm.
It's good.
Good
Yeah, no,
stuff.
Audioscape, like I already have mine. I'm never gonna get rid of it. But they also just like their new 1176s and stuff have mix knobs on it. I'm just like, damn it, just missed it. It's
Yeah.
all good. Nate, oh dude, I totally forgot to ask you. Did you have a question?
I didn't have a question, but I just wanted to emphasize what Ryan said about the Arc Studio. I'm going through this right now. I think there's never going to be a space that is going to sound good. So if you want, it's never going to happen. So you either go the headphone route or you just get monitors that you can really trust. But that Arc Studio, I initially was using the Sonar Works software. The software was just causing issues with Pro Tools and Logic and all that. So since trying this Arc, I put it against the Callies. I put it against these old ATCs, and it's just night and day difference. And it's hardwired into the speakers, so you're not actually dealing with software anymore. So it just bypasses that issue, and it will just make your room sound like it is treated, but it doesn't have to go through any of those issues. So I think I second what Ryan said with the Arc Studio, and I think you should really invest in it. It's not that expensive either. So
Shit,
That's
all right.
what
Do I,
we're-
do
Dude,
I
I
need to
think
buy
that's
this?
the thing though, is it's like the fact that it doesn't have a plugin and it's literally just like between my dangerous thing and my speakers is so nice.
Yeah, it will turn any monitor to be a lot more usable, but it will just make a flat monitor even more flat. So I think it's just insanely. That's
And
just
I'm
a great.
telling you, the VSX thing is like legitimately really good.
All right. I'm going to give the VSX another chance. I'm going to check out Arc Studio. I know, why can't you have to buy it, I guess. Whatever. All right, guys. Well, Nate, thank you for being here. Thank you for correcting my mistake. Thank you to Robert, David, and Ryan here. Check them out on social medias. We'll put their info in the description here. And take care, guys.
Nice.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Producer Points. Your support means the world to us. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and share with fellow music enthusiasts. For an encore, check out our Spotify playlist featuring all the songs we've discussed on the show, giving you the perfect soundtrack to your creative journey. Additional audio and video editing for this episode was done by Nathan Rebello. Until next time, this is Justin Gamella.